Robert Casella with the Casella Group here. Today we're just going to talk about some hurricanes. That's been a hot topic amongst people over the last several months here in Florida. But if I were to make an argument, I would say that ground zero for hurricane damage was actually up in North Carolina in the western hills there. There was a lot of damage. That seems to be ground zero, not Florida in terms of the amount of devastation that occurred. But really what I want to talk about is Sarasota, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch area. And we're going to dive into some stats here. Since 1851, Florida has experienced about 41 major storms, and a major storm is something we'll consider catastrophic in nature. So we're no stranger to strong storms down here. We're called the Tampa Bay Lightning for a reason. We do have a propensity to have, some storms that rumble through the area, but not all of them, of course, are considered major hurricanes. So if we go back to 1950, we've had about 18 major hurricanes in that period of time. Of all of this history that came through, about 170 years worth, there was really only one major storm that came and hit Sarasota, Bradenton area, and that was Milton that we just experienced here. Normally, when a hurricane hits Florida, we've seen it come up from the Keys on up. We've seen it come from the East Coast over to the West Coast, but no direct hits. Until Milton, of course. So Milton was certainly a bear, but I promise you it was nothing like what they experienced in North Carolina, which is the oddity of it all. What I also want to make note is that the infrastructure and the homes that are built here in Florida, well, they're built like tanks down here, and that's because we've had hurricanes down here, and you have all concrete block homes, or at least a lot of the newer construction. We have block construction. We also have hurricane straps and tie downs, low profile homes. So these are all things that Florida has kind of put in place to make sure that when a hurricane does hit, it minimizes damage. And of course, our infrastructure is also something to be cognizant of. We have, especially in some of these newer areas, we have underground wires, storm management systems, and that's where Lakewood Ranch has really shined because all the infrastructure is up to date. And if we look at the damage that happened here in the Sarasota, Bradenton area, really not much in the Lakewood Ranch area, simply because all the infrastructure is geared towards mitigating a lot of what we experienced here in these last couple hurricanes that came through. We had, of course, Helene, which went north of us, so that wasn't a direct hit. We had Tropical Storm Debbie, which dumped a lot of rain, but wasn't catastrophic. And then, of course, we had Milton that rolled up the coast. But really, if you were to come to an area in Florida, Sarasota, Bradenton would be at the top of the list, simply because if we look at the historical context of things, really only one major hit, and that was Milton. And let's not forget why we live in Florida. We have beautiful beaches, warm breezes, tons of opportunities for social activities outdoors. This is why we love Florida and we want to live there too. So when you're considering an area in Florida, I still say your odds are great here in the Sarasota, Bradenton area. No one likes storm season, but if you're going to be in a subtropical environment, hey, Lakewood Ranch is your place. If you do have any questions about the homes here in Lakewood Ranch, we're still the #1 selling community, multi-generational homes, multi-generational community in the entire country for 5 years running. So it still continues to be a hot spot. I think over the last year, about 1 million people moved to Florida, and a lot of them moved to the Sarasota, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch area. So if you have questions and you want to know more about Sarasota, just give me a call. I'm happy to go over what your options are. So you can reach me at 941-961-4037. Love to hear from you. We'll talk to you soon.